Hello, I'm Maurice Dimba. Today I'm going to show you how to create elevations from grid lines on this RCC model. Welcome to this tutorial and let's get started right away. From the screen here you can see a plan view of the RCC building we've been doing for some time now. And from here we want to create an elevation from these grid lines. Now we can pick any grid line and get an elevation view from it, maybe looking this side or either looking that side. Now for now I want to create an elevation from grid 8. So I want to create an elevation from grid 8 facing the building this side. Now we'll go straight away and do that right now. Now we'll go to drawings and report. Then from there we come to create drawings here. Then we'll go straight to GA drawing. From there we'll scroll to the grid of your choice, of our choice, which we've selected grid 8. I'll pick grid 8 right there, and I'll go straight to create and create general drawing dialog box. I'll click create button right there, and we will wait to see what has been created. Okay, now it has been created. Now we'll follow it under drawing list. Still under drawing and reports tab, we'll come to drawing list right here. I'll click drawing list. Now on this drawing list we'll find our drawing already listed under the drawing list, showing the date of creation, which is 5th July 2018 right there. You can maximize this and get further descriptions of the drawing created. You can see the paper size is this, the size of the drawing is 804 by 55.7. Type of the drawing is a general arrangement. The mark, it has been given 1, and it is a standard way of creating the drawing. Now what I'll do now, I'll just minimize this, and this one at the moment we don't have anything to do with it because we've used it to create the elevation of our preference. Now for now I'll just close it. Unless I want to create another elevation, I'll come back to it and select the appropriate grid of my choice, then create an elevation. For now I want to open the drawing that has been created on grid elevation 8. Now I'll come back to my drawing list dialog box here and double click on the drawing that has been listed under drawing list. I'll double click on that and wait for it to open. You can see it here. The drawing is loading, and we will wait for it to load so that we can have a look at it. Then we can go ahead and customize and make it look the way we want it to look. There we are. You can hear the bell. I'll come here now. There it is now. Here it is. It has been created, but what we want to do now, we want to increase the depth of our view going inside the building. Remember, the grid line 8 was just on the surface of our building. Now we want to move inside the building. Now what I'll do, I'll just double click on this frame, or this frame covering our model. I'll just move this side and minimize this so that we can have a clear view of what I'm talking about. Now I've double clicked this square covering our model. Now I'll come to define as distance under attribute 1. Now from here we have the depth down and the depth up. I want to increase this so that we expand our view going inside the model. Now I'll change this 500 to 8 to maybe 12 12 meters going inside, and then take this to 12 meters going inside, so that we don't only see the surface of the model or the surface of the grid line view. 8. Now, having done that, let me just push or grab this and take it up, and I'll click modify and wait for the result. Okay, here we are. It has been created. Now what we'll do, we'll just go ahead and click OK, just to accept whatever has been presented to us. Now I'll bring it closer, just scroll my middle button on my mouse just to bring this closer, so that we can have a view on what has been created. We can see this. These are the beams, columns, and the front view of our staircase with an outline of rebars inside, but though they haven't been detailed. But today I'm just creating the elevations from grid line. The detailing of the rebars, that one will come in the next presentation, but for now on, just to show you how to do that and how to put some little details on your drawing. Now we want to change the appearance of our grid lines here, and what we'll do, just come here and double click on the grid line. Though it has a color of pink, but it's not really nice color. I'll double click on that just to change that. Once you double click, the grid line properties will come up. Then from here you can see the color of our grid line is actually pink. We want to change this to black, though when you print this out, it will still come out black. Then color here, we want to change this color of our text to black also. Then the size of our text, we want to either leave it at 5, or we can take it to 6 meters. Height of 6, or as I can leave it at that default of 5 meters. Of 5 millimeter height of text. But what I'll change is the text font. I'll click this button next to that Arial font type. Then I'll come here and type the font of my preference. I prefer Roman D, that's the font I normally use. I'll click on that. Then I'll click OK. Then what I'll do on the frame, I don't need a frame. I'll come here and I'll pick a text without frame, or without any frame covering the text. I'll pick on that, then I'll come here and click modify. Having done that, I'll go ahead and click apply and give it an OK. That I'm comfortable with what I've just done right now. Now I'll bring this close so that I can have just a closer look at, of what I've done. But if I bring it close, you can see the part of the building is actually protruding outside our drawing frame, or our drawing boundary. Now I'll click on this, and I'll click on that. Then I'll press my middle button on the mouse. The moment you press the middle button on the mouse, you'll see the cursor changing to a finger or a hand. You can see that. So the moment it turns that, you are now, it means that the command is now active, and is instructing you that you can now grab it to a direction of your choice. Now a reason why I want to grab it, I want to slightly take it to the center of our drawing frame, so that no part of our drawing is protruding outside the frame, because if you print it like this, the part that has protruded outside the frame will not be printed, and that will be very, very unfortunate. Now what we'll do, just grab it inside slightly, like that. We'll bring it slightly inside, like that, though it's not picking it perfectly. Let me just zoom it once more and bring it closer. Then I'll go ahead again and click on this boundary of my drawing, then I'll go ahead and press my middle button on the mouse like that, and I'll grab it. We leave it at that because the response to the response of the command is quite slow due to now the size of the model. Now I'll zoom in. I'll zoom in once again and check on what we can change or put into our drawing created from the model we've been doing for quite some time. Now I want to place some dimensions from 0 level to this. I want to place dimensions on this side, assuming that someone might not get these labeling properly or interpret them properly. Now others prefer the actual measurement from point to point to get the information right from the drawing. Now I'll come to vertical dimension and dimensioning. I'll click on that, then I'll click on this end to instruct the program where which point I want to start my dimensioning from. I want to start dimensioning from that spot, then I'll move to this spot right here and just hover your cursor to that point until you see that square box indicating that that is the end of the point, then snap on that spot. Perfect. And right click and come to interrupt just to exit that dimension command. Now it is not appearing, and the reason why I'll show you. Now I will use a continuation. I will use add free dimension under dimensioning. I'll click on that, then I'll start it from this spot once again, and I'll go all the way to this end. I'll just snap right there. I've hovered my cursor on top of the point I want to start my dimensioning from. I'll click on that. Then I'll click on that end and come down here to where I started, just to complete my command instruction. I'll click on that spot. I'll right click and come to interrupt just to wind up on that command. Now if I bring it closer, you can see the dimension actually reading 15 meters right from the 0 level of this building. I can click on it now. Let me just click on it and grab it or push it slightly to this end. I can drag it that end. Also I can click on it again and drag it this end. I can bring it that end because I want to create some drawing. I want to place some dimensions here just to show you how to place your dimensions on the drawing manually. Then I'll come back again here and dimensioning, but I'll use add free dimensions. I'll zoom out so that I can be able to see all the points I intend to place the dimensions. Let me just zoom it out, and I want to start again from this point. So you just hover your cursor on the point you want to start your dimension from. I'll start from that spot, then hover my cursor on that spot. I'll pick on that spot, then hover my cursor on that spot. Once on another spot, once again I click on that and hover my cursor again on that point, and the moment that square box appears means it is active. Can now pick on that spot. I'll click on that. Don't click before that box appears, means it is not active still. It has not located the points you prefer. Now I'll click on that spot again, then hover my cursor to the next spot I want to place my dimension. I'll snap on that spot. Then I'll go back to my initial point just to make that dimension, the dimension created appear, or to wind up on the command. Then I'll come to my initial spot and hover my cursor on that same spot. So the moment that square box appears, please click. There we are. Right click and exit from that dimensioning command. So from 0 we have an interval of 333 meters to the very end of the 15 meters from zero level to 15 meters. So you can see even this side also labeled 0 plus 0 plus 3 meters plus 6 meters plus 9 meters plus 12 meters plus 15 meters. Now we want to actually check the length of our model. I'll come to horizontal. Remember the vertical dimensions, you can use this. You can use that. I'll come to on the length we'll use the horizontal dimension. I'll pick on that. Then just hover your cursor anywhere here, or we can pick it down here. You can pick it down here. Just hover my cursor right there. Still not active. There we are. You can click on that, then come to this end, then hover your cursor right there. Click, then go back to your initial point to wind up with the command, and click on your initial spot. Then the moment you've done that, right click and exit from the command by clicking the interrupt. Now we have 24.4 meters here. This is the full length of our building. This is the full length of our building, and what we'll do now, we'll go to changing this grid 8. We'll not leave it at default label. What we'll do, we'll just double click on this grid 8 label. Then on this view properties, what we'll do, we'll come to attributes 1. Then attributes 1 will pass, then go to label. We'll come to label here. Under label, I'll grab this and put it aside like this, so that you can see directly what we are doing. You can see the color of our text is blue here. Then we'll go ahead and change that to black. Then under label, we'll come to A1 mark, then click on this radio button just adjacent to mark, and click on that. This will take you to mark content properties dialog box. Under this spot, we will not use this default view name. We'll click on it, then we'll click remove, then bring the text into this slot. It will not come, but the moment you bring it, the moment you click add, it will prompt you with the mark text dialog box. So inside this box, please type the description of this elevation. How do you want to call it? What text or what amount of text do you want to add beside just grid line 8? Now I'll just add elevation along grid line 8. That is what I'll type inside here. I'll type elevation view along grid line 8. That's enough. And I'll go ahead and click OK. And prior to doing that, please counter check on what you've written. Check the spelling and other things. Just scroll down using right left arrow on your keyboard. Now once you've typed the right thing, just go ahead and click OK. It will appear here. Then what we'll do, you can also go ahead and change the text, font text here. You can click on that, then this will take you to font dialog box here. Here you can change the text of your choice. You can for now on the grid, I'll leave it at Arial, or you can change this to a font of your choice, but for now I'll just leave it at Arial because it's more bold. Roman D is slightly faint. I'll click on Arial, then pick on regular. I don't want narrow text. Then I'll go ahead and click OK. Once you've done that, just go ahead and click modify. You'll see it changing here from blue to what you've just typed and gave a description of your choice. Go ahead and apply and give it a nod there by pressing OK. Now, if you come to label position here and come to horizontal, you can either pick center by view frame, but we don't need a frame on our text. We just need it underlined, but it is underlined with a blue line, but we need a black, and everything should be black. I'll come back to attributes here. I'll come back to attributes here. I'll come to attributes 1. I'll come back to label here. I'll come back to label here. Then I'll go a step to A2. I'll click on that and check if there's anything necessary for me to change. I'll close that. Then I'll come to symbol here. I'll click symbol. Then I'll click on this. I want to change the symbol there and click modify. I'll change the size from 1 to 15. I'll give it 15. I'll click OK. I'll apply and give it a nod by accepting what I've just done. This is how it will look now. Elevation view along grid 8. Now this is how it is done, and I think this will help you if you intend to create, or if you want to learn on how to create elevations from grid lines. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I'm Morris Dimba, and if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe after watching the video, and let's meet then, and bye bye.